Jeff Gordon is rightfully known as one of the greatest drivers ever. And for one to argue that he is the best NASCAR driver ever would be a valid argument. But even the best have major slumps, and Gordon is no different. In 2005, Gordon would have the worst season of his career. While he scored 3 wins, coming at Martinsville, Talladega, and also at Daytona with his third Daytona 500 victory, he also had plenty of lows. 5 DNFs in the first 17 races, including 3 straight crashes, saw him drop from 2nd to 11th in points. Add in 2 more finishes outside the top 30, and by the time NASCAR entered Chicagoland, he sat 13th in points. At this time, the chase for the Nextel Cup was made up of the top 10 in points. With Gordon 13th, he would be 48 points out, still realistically in range of it. But he would have to have a good weekend overall. His qualifying run would be a respectable 14th on Friday. Unfortunately, this would be the peak of his weekend, as Gordon's car was not up to par for what a 4-time champion should have. And going into Sunday, it was looking like it was going to be a rough one. Starting off the day, he already was booed more than usual, for 2 main reasons. The first being that basically before 2008, Jeff Gordon was far and away the most hated driver in NASCAR. It wasn't even close. But the biggest reason that he was so maligned by the Joliet, Illinois crowd came about a month earlier. NASCAR at the time was hugely popular, so drivers like Gordon, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Tony Stewart all were grade A celebrities at the time. So when Gordon had jumped to 2nd in points in May of 2005, it made all the sense in the world to invite him to Wrigley. He was tasked with the customary duties of guests, including throwing the first pitch and singing the 7th inning stretch in front of Wrigley. This is where it all went downhill.
Chicago, it's great to be here at Wrigley Stadium. You guys ready to do this? A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball. Me out to the
Not only did he say the words of the song wrong, he called Wrigley Field Wrigley Stadium. Yikes. At least he was better than Ozzy Osbourne at it. But back to race day. In the opening laps of the 2005 USG Sheetrock 400, Gordon would drop like a rock. By the 55th lap of the race, he had dropped all the way down to 37th, well over 3/4 of a lap down.
Well, Jeff Gordon is not having a Jeff Gordon kind of day. In fact, on the last pit stop, though, they didn't want to make a knee-jerk reaction to the problems Jeff was having with the car, so they didn't go big on the adjustments. They made just air pressure adjustments. They need to go big next time. In fact, Jeff just radioed in on lap 53. I can feel the front end pushing, but the back end has no grip whatsoever, struggling in the 24 camp.
Even with more drivers dropping out due to flat tires, he still was below 25th position at the 100-lap mark.
Where's the 24 car?
25th spot.
Wow.
And, well, make that 26th spot, Bill.
Jason Leffler goes by. Dave.
Jeff radioed his crew before that last set of pit stops that the car stayed loose during the whole run. That rear end really wanted to swap around. But on the exit of the corner, it was actually getting a little bit better. They took a spring rubber out of the right rear tire, which will help that rear end swapping around, out of the right rear spring, actually. So that was a big adjustment they made, and they went down to the track bar as well. Remember, last time they made small adjustments, this time they went big, but they still got big problems.
While the adjustments slightly helped the feel of the 24 car, it didn't do much for his running. And he ran between the mid-20s to high 30s for the remainder of the day for the most part. By the halfway point, though, he was only up to about 20th position.
See, Jeff Gordon, he's up a little bit
He's in 20th, and it looks like he's still struggling.
Dave, is he struggling?
Well, for the second weekend in a row, BP, so we want to hear it straight from the top of the pit box. Robbie, you guys have been working hard on this. Is it any closer to right?
Pretty proud of this DuPont Chevrolet. I mean, the guys are working incredibly hard. We just missed on the setup. We're working hard to get it back up there. Just so it's getting better than this now with these tractors.
What's the main problem Jeff's struggling with?
It's back and forth. It started a little bit loose, and then we get tight, so we're just trying to find the balance of it.
He says making a lot of adjustments every time, but mostly, guys, it sounds like Jeff has been reporting a loose race car, and here, that back end coming around is something you don't want.
Gordon was racing against rookies, past their prime veterans, and underfunded teams, well below his normal range. By the 200 lap mark, things didn't look at all better, as the top 20 began to elude him. With 50 to go, he was running an abysmal 28th position, one of the last guys on the lead lap. The only thing keeping him there was the fact that there were tons of cautions. A situation that didn't improve at all in the final 30 laps. A debris caution offered a final chance to make adjustments though, and maybe, just maybe, make up some spots.
Wreck behind you, wreck me.
Caution is out. Jeff Gordon involved.
He and Mike Bliss.
I heard Mike Bliss.
His day just got worse, didn't it?
And it was already bad.
Yeah.
So now I'm thinking if I took 2 tires, I'm feeling a little bit better.
Yep. Yellows are your friend.
Yep.
Kenseth has worked his way up to the
Sixth, yep.
Sixth position.
The more laps you can run under yellow, the less laps you got to have Kenseth trying to catch you.
Yeah. And Tony's been right with him. Tony is up to 7th.
See if we have any idea what might have happened. That's in progress.
No.
Right in the center.
Let's go on board with the 11, Jason Leffler, and see if we can see anything.
Well, there's Mike Bliss there on the inside.
That's what happened.
Yep, just got it.
Stay low. Inside. We're all around.
Got into Jeff Gordon's left rear quarter panel. That was pretty self-explanatory right there. You don't need to really elaborate on that one.
The frustration with the driver of the 24 car was evident after this, as the crash left him with a 33rd place finish, knocking him down to 15th in points, 126 behind 10th place driver and defending champion Kurt Busch.
Jeff Gordon's come from the infield care center, Bill. Wrong place, wrong time, Jeff.
Well, you know, Mike Bliss had a lot to do with that one. I mean, there was nowhere I could go, and you know, I'm embarrassed that we're even back there to begin with. I don't know what's going on. You know, we've just been struggling really bad. It's very frustrating, and you know, when we get up to the front, hopefully that kind of stuff won't happen.
Difficult end to a tough day for Jeff Gordon.
Now, this on its own isn't enough to be considered one of the worst weekends of his career, if not the worst. Later that night at the airport, Gordon and Mike Bliss actually encountered one another. According to reports, a fight broke out, and it resulted in Gordon giving Bliss a black eye. One final public embarrassment to Gordon's reputation for the Chicago area in 2005. Gordon would end up missing the 10-man chase for the Nextel Cup, and it would result in him splitting up with his crew chief Robbie Loomis, who he had won his 4th championship with. The next year, though, Gordon would return to Joliet for a bit of redemption.
From here on in, the race is over.
One eye out the windshield, one eye on the fuel pressure gauge.
Jeff Burton, that 31 car closes in. Harvick still trying to get by Busch for 3rd spot. Here comes Gordon.
Looks like he's going to make it. Jeff Gordon's going to score his first win at Chicago.
Good job.
But with all this, I want to pass it on to you now. What drivers can you think of that had terrible weekends or races like this? Let me know down in the comments below. And while you're at it, leave a like on this video and subscribe to my channel for more great NASCAR content. And until next time, have a good one.